So I decided to do a little bit of Bond number 9 fragrance sniffing and smelling and a little bit of shopping a while ago. And I got some thoughts on about 10 fragrances that I think y'all are going to want to hear. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Santa Maria here. Yes, as you can tell by the thumbnail, the title, I did some Bond number 9 smelling, and I have 10 fragrances to talk about, including some oldness as well as some of the newness. And I'm very excited about that because some of these I've had on my radar, some of these I've almost blind bought, and I'm so glad I didn't. Let me just say that. And some of these weren't on my radar at all, but now they are. But as always, lipstick of the day today, everyone. Get into it. I was feeling kind of purpley. I kind of in this cool tone vibe, and this is MAC Soar lipstick, which is no stranger to the channel. I will link it below so you don't have to look for it, just like the details to my face will also be in the description box because I know y'all like the makeup. Next up, we have fragrance of the day, and since we're talking Bond number 9, it would only make sense that my fragrance of the day would also be a Bond fragrance because hey, y'all know I love me some Bond here. Fragrance of the day is Bond number 9's Nomad. This was a hit for me holiday 2022. And it's still gonna be a fragrance that's in rotation for the holiday season going into winter because this is a fruity oud scent and it just doesn't smell like anything else in my collection, and it makes me really happy. And by the way, this is literally unisex. You can share this one. The head elf and I absolutely share this one, so it's fantastic. For the last, Bond number 9's Nomad is your fragrance of the day. So without further ado, let's get started with these Bond number 9 fragrances and my thoughts on them. So first up, let's go ahead and get this out the way. At the time, this was the newest scent when I went scent smelling, and the fragrance I'm referring to is New York Flowers. The bottle is gorgeous. I even got a mailer for it. I remember showing it here on the channel, and I want to read the notes to you all, and I also have a sample of it, so I'm gonna refresh my nose with it too. So New York Flowers came out for spring 2023. We have notes of Anjou pear, clementine, we have Cur, royal accord, rose degrassi, jasmine, amber, and iris. So absolutely, this is a bright, happy floral scent, and the fact that it's a spring scent is why I care so much because to me, Bond number 9 does spring extremely well. It's their best season in my opinion. Their florals always knock it out the park for me, so I had very high hopes for this one. Now let me tell you what I thought about it. So since I have the sample of it here, I'm gonna go ahead and reacquaint myself with the scent. So New York Flowers, y'all, let me tell you something. This is a pretty girl, and I like this. This was definitely a like at first sniff for sure, and I'm glad I have a sample of it because right now when I'm filming this, it is November. We're heading into Thanksgiving time, but this is a scent that I'm definitely considering for spring 2024 because this is a daytime scent to me. It's spring in a bottle for sure. It's sparkly, it's bright. I get all the florals in this, a little woodiness too. I even get a hint of that pear note. But absolutely to me, the vibe of this scent is I'm strolling through the park after all the blooms have happened. The birds are out and chirping. The springs are alive. Everybody done had babies everywhere. New birth, springtime. That's what this smells like to me. Plus, I love the bottle. The bottle is one of the best Bond bottles in my opinion. So New York Flowers is full bottle worthy to me. This is a yes. I like this one. Next fragrance, now this is one you have to purchase directly at Bond number 9 on their website or at a Saks store where they have a Bond counter because this one is literally called Bond number 9 Saks for Her. And the bottle is super cute. Plus I love Saks. I love to, like whenever I go out of town, I like to shop there for my niche fragrances in particular because they just have the best selection in my opinion. And the service is always wonderful. I'm still getting emails from sales associates I shopped with years ago. But Saks for Her, we have notes of jasmine, tuberose, gardenia, vetiver, and vanilla. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be kind of springtime, feminine, girly type of scent. It's kind of meant to smell like how you feel when you're shopping in Saks. That's kind of how it was explained to me from the essay. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I smelled it, y'all. Let me tell you what Saks for Her was giving. And it's not what you think. It's nothing but Bond number 9's Central Park West. When I tell you they smell exactly identical. So if you already have this one right here, Central Park West, with the pretty interesting bottle right here, you don't need Saks for Her. So as a person, again, I have this. I was like, wait a minute. As soon as I smelled it, I said, wait a minute, I know this smell. And it was this, and to be fair, the essay, and I appreciate this, was straight up with me. They was like, yeah. They literally asked me, said, do you already have Central Park West? And I said, yes, I do. And they said, yeah. They say they numbered that in the bottle. And I smelled it, and I said, you are absolutely right. In fact, we smelled them side by side. And I was like, yeah, that's what I think too. Saks for Her is literally a namesake type of bottle. It's one of those, if you just want to say you have it, if you're a collector, cool. I don't need it that bad because, again, I already have Central Park West. Yeah. It's a no for me. So Saks for Her, I'm not here for that. So just don't fall for the hype of Saks in a bottle. No. The next fragrance I wanted to smell because it finally came back as part of the Originals collection. I've heard so much hype about this scent that I had to check it out for myself. I finally smelled Bond No. 9's New Harlem. I know in particular the guys love it, but I know it's a lot of the ladies that are OG Bond lovers. They say it's really good too. So I said, okay, it must be unisex. So let's talk about the notes of Bond No. 9's New Harlem. We have notes of lavender, bergamot, green leaves, coffee, cedarwood, amber, vanilla, tonka, and patchouli. I was like, interesting. I'm like, lavender is in here and some cedarwood. I'm like, this might lean a little masculine. We're gonna see, because lavender has to be done very delicately, as we all know. So I could count on one hand how many fragrances I own with lavender in it that are actually feminine. So y'all, we spelled this one, sprayed it on paper, and let me tell you, I smelled it and I was like, I get the hype. I 100% understood the hype. This was a love at first sniff for me. I was like, okay, I get it. This is really, really good. And to me, the coffee note sticks out more, and then I started to smell more of the maple note in it, because I always heard people say it smelled like sexy breakfast, like you smell like maple pancakes, and 100% that is true. And in my opinion, yes, this scent is really, really good. And the lavender was nice, and this is one that actually is better on skin, because if you have been watching my channel, you know, yes, I thought New Harlem was full bottle worthy, and yeah, it ended up in a collection. So here's your answer. Yeah, so New Harlem is absolutely full bottle worthy. But yeah, I get the vanilla, I get the coffee, the lavender for sure. And then there's that sweetness in here. The sweetness is what makes this scent unisex in my opinion. So absolutely New Harlem. I was excited to smell it, so therefore I knew I could order it when I caught a sale on it. Just saying, yeah, New Harlem, absolutely full bottle worthy. This is unisex. Ladies, this one is good. Full bottle worthy for sure. This next one is an old scent. This is one I actually more so like the bottle, and always intrigued me. It's not one that's talked about a lot, and I was like, interesting, I wonder why. But people have said it was definitely a cold weather scent. I've seen people bring it up around Christmas, so I'm saying, okay, let's see. So the fragrance I'm talking about is Manhattan. Manhattan, the bottle is this deep blue, and it has red circle embossings in it. So it's a pretty bottle to me, but I wanted to smell it most importantly to get my life or not get my life. So we have notes of fresh coriander. We have some spicy nutmeg in here. We got some juicy Italian bergamot. There's saffron in here. There's a gingerbread in here. Cashmere wood, French garnets, and we have Provence star jasmine, citrus flower. Okay, the notes are still going. Gourmand, red plum, honey, agar wood, musk, sandalwood, suede. Okay, it's a lot in this scent. It's a whole lot in this scent for Manhattan, which to be fair, Manhattan does have a lot going on, to be fair. But yeah, the notes are all over the place, and let me tell you, I should have known then by seeing all the notes and how there was a whole lot going on that this one gonna be it. Y'all, I smelled this one and I immediately hated it. This was an immediate no. This was so masculine to my nose. There was absolutely no way of salvaging this scent, even in drying down. Like, I was like, this is a mixed up mess. It's just, no, there was no harmony. It just didn't work for me. It was real thick and spicy, but in a masculine way, and I don't like spicy scents. Then it was giving man. Manhattan was just a no for me. It just didn't work, y'all. So that's the one, y'all can have it. Yeah, no for me. Next up, this is one I've seen ladies talk about. It's an older scent as well, but people still speak very highly of this one, and the bottle's cute. It has like grass on it and whatnot. So the fragrance I'm talking about is Highline. And Highline has notes of bergamot, purple, love grass, Indian rhubarb, red leaf, rose, tulips, and then we have grape hyacinth and burnt oak in it. So it's meant to be like wildflowers and wild grasses and greenery, supposed to be about urban renewal and all that. I'm like, okay. So most importantly, I smelled it, which considering it was a spring scent, I saw tulip was in it, I had high hopes in it, because again, I told you Bond does spring very well in my opinion. So when I smelled Highline, y'all, it was a love at first sniff. Absolute love. All of the peak outside greenery freshness that you want out of spring, that is what is in Highline. That is what Highline smells like. It just smells like you've let in all the fresh air. Everything has now come back. The seeds have been planted. They're starting to sprout. Like, that's just what it makes. This is what it smells like. And y'all, let me tell you something. The tulip and the hyacinth notes are so prominent. And I personally love tulips as a flower. And I love hyacinth. I actually buy them and put them in a vase in the house. So for me to have it in a bottle and it smells like I like it is a win. So let me tell you something. Highline, we're gonna need her in 2024. She's full bottle worthy. Even to be an old scent, she's really, really good. So impressed with Highline. Now this next scent has been recommended to me a lot by a lot of my elves, as well as like friends and coworkers and stuff in real life. People have told me I need to check out Central Park South. And I was like, okay, because as y'all know, I just showed I have Central Park West, but Central Park South, the bottle looks different, it's cute. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it since we're just having a whole smelling session at this point. Now let's get into Central Park South. It has notes of grapefruit flower, black currant buds, and then we have jasmine, lily of the valley, which I love lily of the valley. Then we have a base note of classic wood notes. So this one, in my opinion, whenever I see like grapefruit and I see lily of the valley, it's gonna be fresh. It's gonna be very, very fresh and bright. And obviously it's a floral here because it's definitely a park. Let me tell y'all something. So I was like, okay, we'll see. Maybe it might smell just like its sister scent. Y'all, let me tell you something. This one surprised me. It definitely surprised me. It is so pretty and fresh and clean. Now, the rest of the other scents I smelled that are springtime I've been talking about, those are more so truly floral, grassy, outdoors, those type of scents. This is fresh and clean springtime. Like, this could be made into like a fabric softener, a candle, but I want to smell like this. It's still perfumey though at the same time. I want a bottle of this so bad. Spring 2024, absolutely, I need a bottle of Central Park South. This is a winner for sure. It's really good. I'm like, yes. This scent is absolutely a signature scent because you got that sweetness in there too because of the black currant. So between the freshness and the black currant sweetness, it's fresh and clean and sweet. It's feminine, it works. As y'all can tell, I'm really excited about Central Park South, and that'll be the one I end up with soon. Just, yeah. Moving forward though, y'all. Next up, I'll admit, this is a fragrance I almost blind bought multiple times because I love the bottle because it has a little cute top hat on it. And this is by number 9's Soho. So Soho has the swirls on it, trying to hypnotize you and all that. It's an interesting thing. So let's talk about it. Soho has notes of sweet orange, petitgrain, we have cassis, and we have orange blossom, jasmine, orris, amber, musk, oak moss, and cedarwood. So just reading the notes, I figured it would be a safe blind buy, and plus I know Bond DNA pretty well, right? Let me tell you something. I'm glad I went in and smelled this scent, so let me talk about it. This scent took me on a journey. So the opening with that petitgrain is very, very green. It can be a little sharp to the nose, and I was like, wait a minute, it's kind of leaning masculine to me. It was kind of giving masculine vibes. I was kind of sad there for a second. I'm glad I let it sit and like eventually came back to it and whatnot, because once it settled down, then it morphed into something more beautiful and feminine to me. The orange blossom and like the cassis came through more so for me. It was just like, okay, this scent has drama. It has definitely drama. So in my opinion, Soho would be a good transition scent from winter into springtime for that reason, because it has a contrast going on. I like it though. I'm like, I'm intrigued. I might get like a small bottle of it. Not necessarily a full 100 ml size big bottle, but I might get a 50 ml of. We'll see. Soho was cute because it brought the drama. And I like that. Next fragrance I'm gonna talk about, this is Governor's Island. Governor's Island I have heard so much about. A lot of people love this scent. Like, the notes are very simple for Governor's Island, and I was like, we'll see. There's warm resins, honeyed ambrox, and cedarwood. So it's kind of straight to the point. I'm like, interesting, we'll see. So I smelled Governor's Island, y'all. Sadly, it didn't work for me. It leaned way too masculine in my opinion. The woody notes and the resins, it was just giving man. And I'm like, man, and I had almost blind bought that one many a time too because I saw it on sale before. So glad I didn't buy it, y'all. I'm so glad because I'd have been so mad at myself. I'd be like, ugh, it's not good. So maybe for the guys it'll work for y'all, but I can't wear it. It was a no for me. Governor's Island, I can't do it. So moving forward. So the last two fragrances are actually from the Dubai collection I smelled, and the Dubai collection is like their elevated line. Them bottles are something else. They are expensive, but I mean, you can catch deals and sales on and whatnot. Let me smell them in particular, and it was one scent I really went in there to smell. The other one was actually recommended to me. We'll talk about that in a minute. So the first one I've had my eye on for a year. I smelled the Dubai Indigo scent. Now, reading the notes of Indigo, y'all, I thought this was gonna be like great. I thought it would be a safe blind buy, all that, right? So for Dubai Indigo, we have notes of lychee, peach, bergamot, orange blossom, jasmine, peony, white musk, amber, agarwood, and oak moss, right? So I'm like, okay, it's gonna get a fruity, feminine, juicy situation that might happen. I don't know what happened with this scent because I smelled it and y'all, I was so disappointed. Like, I was like, what happened? I was expecting this to blow me away. I was gonna be like, oh, I need it, yes, I'm gonna get it. I just wanted to be sure because again, I'm trying to smell things. We're not blind buying as much. Y'all know we're being more responsible here. So glad I smelled this one because I did not like this at all. It didn't work. It wasn't memorable. It wasn't good. It just was like, ugh. It's just like, it was just such a letdown. So Indigo, Don't let the nose fool you. Don't blind buy that one. Please smell it. Go to a counter or something like I did. Smell it. Indigo, it's not what you think. So, Then the last scent, like I said, I wasn't even checking for this one, but the essay was like, well, since we're here, let me show you the one that I think is amazing. It's my favorite one out of the Dubai collection. I said, okay, let me see what you got. Cool. Because like I noticed our taste and things were aligning a lot. So I was like, okay, let's see what's happening. So then we smelled Dubai Amethyst, right? This is like the purple one. Of course, I'm showing pictures of all the bottles while I do this video. Y'all, let's talk about Amethyst. Because again, never checked for it, but never knew it existed. You know what I mean? Just nothing. Whatever. So Amethyst, we have notes of lily, rose, tonka, jasmine, ambrox, tobacco, and patchouli. So I'm like, okay, I like the majority of the notes that are here, but let's see how it's blended, what it is it actually going to translate to, because as we see, you can't just go off of what you read notes wise. You really have to smell it because it don't always hit right, you know? So let's talk about it, y'all. Let me tell you something. This scent was beautiful. So beautiful. It's been living rent free in my head ever since I smelled it. This one will make the 2024 wish list. This was so feminine and rich. I smelled the rose in it, the tonka in it. It worked. It just worked. Like, I highly recommend smelling Amethyst because again, we usually don't talk about the Dubai collection and I get it because of the elevated price point, but y'all, check out Amethyst. She surprised me, she wowed me, she's giving. She is feminine. She was giving rich. That's what she was giving. She was giving me the Dubai that I was feeling. She was giving me that lifestyle. She was giving me that. So I'm like, okay. But done in a feminine way. And I was like, okay, I'm digging Amethyst. This was a win, yes. And of course, by the way, on that lovely trip, I actually went home with my bottle of Bond No. 9 Chelsea Nights, which I've told y'all that story. It ended up a part of my wedding week. But yeah, this is what I went in for and I had a whole like experience. So just so you know, this was the reason. Chelsea Nights, my baby. I love it and I still love it. Super good. I've talked about this scent a million times at this point, but yes, I love Chelsea Nights. Full bottle worthy. It is everything. Please smell that one if you do your own Bond sampling series and smell it, because Bond has so many fragrances that you really do need to just take your time and go up there and smell everything. Just you can, especially like if you're traveling, make a point to do that, because I know I do that with certain brands. I'm traveling, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna spend time at this person's counter on this trip, or I'm gonna go tomorrow and spend my time at this person's counter. So just saying, with Bond, you actually gotta do that because it's so many scents. We know the popular ones like Greenwich Village, Tribeca, that people talk about all the time, right? But you need to take the time so you can find those deep tracks, those deep gems. Like for me, it was Central Park South and Amethyst for me. Those two never was really just checking for that hard, but those were two that wowed me the most. Out of all of them I talked about, those are the two that are at the top of the list for me. So that was my Bond No. 9 shopping experience. And yeah, I'm excited. I see they have also come out with a new scent. There's a very recent, they're like New York Forever scent. It's in a golden red bottle. I will be getting my nose on that one too, and we'll be discussing it because I know y'all like to know my thoughts on whenever Bond got something going on. I'll be sharing my thoughts on that one too once I get my nose on it. So as always, I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye y'all.